There we go. Live, live, live. Time flies. Welcome, everybody. Uh, Fantastic. So, today I thought I'd come on and tie some different kinds of trout flies and trout streamers. And if anybody out there is watching, welcome in. And if you have any questions, um, let me know. Um, just type them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. So, some trout streamers I've been working on are these articulated streamers here. So, they have a hook in the back, and you can put them with a hook in the front. Um, that's up to you. Um, a lot of strikes are from the back. So when a fish hits them, usually as this is swimming along, they get it. And usually trout have a pretty good gap, so they can hook them in the back. Now, a lot of times I use these streamers for also for panfish. So for like sunfish, bluegills, crappies, and they tend to have a really short strike at the end. So you can modify this fly. So I'm going to get into tying it. Once you know the basics, you can put a hook on or not put a hook on. You can tie them in all different kinds of colors. I got some yellow and red ones. This is always a good color. The bright orange with the black head, always a good color. The purple, always a good color. And of course, the pink, always a good color. And then just some more wormy colors. Like the red with a little bit of orange in there, or like a darker red, like a mauvey color with an orange. So these are really wormy colors. Some other colors that have done it in the past. Of course, green with a black head, or you've got yellow and red mixed, or you can do like lychee ones, like a longer lychee one. So there's that, or of course a good solid color hooked up here is the white and red. So all those sort of colors in the past have done that for me. They've all produced the peach. So it's just a matter of what color scheme you want to do. But before you get started on the tying part, you have to make the articulated part. So the spine part. And what I do for that, I have these Christmas hangers that you hang your ornaments on your tree with, and that's what I generally make my articulated spines with. They're pretty strong. I don't know, they're not all made the same because some of them rust. And some of them don't. The ones that I usually fish with don't tend to rust, so that's really, get my headphones out of the way. That's really good. But yeah, and they're strong. They seem to be fairly strong. I haven't broken one yet, so even on some of them big trout. So yeah, that's what I use. There's other things you can use. There's other kinds of wires at the dollar store. I found these at the dollar store. These are wires that are craft wire. I've made a lot of my jointed frog legs with them to blend in with the color of the frog. I also found them in red. So there's that. There are some thinner wires, like floral wire. I have made articulated joints with floral wire. It's a little lighter. The thing about the floral wire, after a while, this will rust. So if you plan on using the fly a lot, and if you don't dry it, it for sure will rust. So one thing I like to do is dry out my flies. When I come home, I have a little wet box, and when I come home from my trip, all the flies that I've used on any given day, I will put them into the wet box and dry them up, or like take them out, put them on a piece of paper towel or whatever, let them dry, pat them down a little, let them dry overnight. Because if you don't do that, the hooks will rust. A lot of hooks will rust and stuff. So yeah, so I like to dry them out. So if you're joining me live, thank you. If you hit that like, share, and subscribe to my channel button, that would be super, super helpful. Also, I have a community tab now on the channel. I've opened that up. So if you have any flies or pics of fish you've caught on flies, put them in the tab. We'd love to see that. So trying to grow a community here. So that would be very helpful. What else was I going to say? Yeah, so just if you like, share, and subscribe, tell your friends, join in if you like to have chats. Very helpful. If you're watching this after the live, like after it goes live, same thing. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Greatly appreciated. And hit the notification bell, and it'll let you know when I'm going live. So yeah, all those things would be grateful. So anyways, let's start with making that spine, that articulated spine. So you take the Christmas wire and you straighten it, and you can straighten it with your fingers. So it is bendable. This is the cool thing. It's really bendable, but yet it's still very strong. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our my brain went numb. I want to call them noodle pliers, but they're not noodle pliers. They're like a jewelry plier for making looping plier. Sorry, that's what they are, looping plier. So you take your looping plier like so, and you're going to make a little loop in your wire like this. You pinch it with your fingers, and then you twist it left and right. And as you see, now you've got a little loop. And because this is the tail, we just wanted a little straight loop. So then trim it off. This is probably about 5 millimeters long, this little loop. And what we're going to do is tie it onto our tail. But before we do that, we're going to... Oh, somebody's watching. Thank you. Welcome in, welcome in. Oh, they just got scared away. All right, they were lurking in the background. Don't be afraid, guys. It's fun to talk. Let's chat it up. Have a real conversation. That's my wife. Beautiful. Just let my wife know. My wife's just visiting her dad for the day. Coolio. Anyways, so yeah, if you're lurking in the background, don't be afraid, guys. You can comment. Let's have a real chat. Talk about fly fishing. All right. Beautiful. All right. So we made that first little 5mm end piece. Now this connecting piece, where did I put that? Ha ha ha, I put it away somewhere. So the next piece of the spine, we got to make a loop on the front and a loop on the back. So that's how they connect through each loop, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our looping pliers. We're going to decide how long we want it. So we want this to be maybe 7 millimeters. You can just eyeball this. So if you want really long streamers, you can make them really long, and you can attach more than one length to it. So if you want like 5 pieces in the spine or 6 pieces in the spine, you can make it as many spine pieces as you want. All those ones that I just showed you are 3-piece spines, and I can tell you exactly how long they are. Give me a second. Take out the handy dandy ruler. They are, so the first one was 1 centimeter, and the other 2 pieces are 2 centimeters. So if you, as you're making them, so the first piece is 1 centimeter, and the second pieces are 2 centimeters. Another person watched and disappeared. They're like, this is boring. Okay. Anyways, so we're going to make them about 2 centimeters long. So you're going to take your looping pliers, put them like this, turn it left and right. That makes your first part of the loop. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go to the other end. So right at the end of that loop. And instead of going this way, you're going to go this way. So you're going to put the loop in the opposite way. And what this does is allows you that when you connect it, it allows that loop to go forward and backwards and give you that articulation. So then we're going to cut off this extra little bit. And I usually keep them. If they're long enough, I can always make another little end loop with them. Okay, so that's our first piece. And now I'm going to need another piece of wire, and I'll straighten it out. And I will make the last piece. And again, same way, do the loop like so, turn it over like so. Okay, so for this fly, we have our three body spines. All right, and now I'm going to pick a hook out of my hook box. And for these, I like the end hook. I like a small little hook. I find it hides nicely in the tail, and it's really easy to attach them on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this hook into my vise, the little hook, and let's raise this up just a little bit. So I'm going to attach my thread onto my hook like so. And I'm going to snip this off. And then I'm just going to tie a good base layer down. And now I'm going to take this straight piece that I made, and I'm going to put the loop forward. And I'm going to tie it in. I'm going to tie just to where the bend is. So I'm going to make sure that those two little metal pieces don't go past the bend in the end, and I'm going to tie that in. And then I have a little flat pliers, and I just straighten it up as I tie it because I want that to be really straight. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why would I tie the metal piece on and not use the eye of the hook? That's a very good question. Now, the reason I do that is because the eye of the hook is, especially on a smaller hook like this, is very small. So you really want your joints on your spines to have that ability to move. Hey, Solo. How's it going, brother? Welcome in, Solo. Good to see you, man. Hey, you were watching Jimmy this afternoon, eh? How did he end up? I was watching Jimmy, and then my wife went to her dad's for his birthday, and because that I had the time, I was able to woohoo! 2 carp, eh? I love when he catches carp. I wish I could catch as many rainbows as Jimmy. Jimmy's a pro star. Jimmy is the man. I'm gonna start promoting him on my channel, so he can get his other channel going. It must be super frustrating to start when you're this channel here. I've been I think 3 years or 4 years at it, and I've got like 38 subscribers. Now, mind you, I don't do too many live streams. This is like probably my 3rd attempt at live streaming. So, yeah, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it. I just opened up my community channel. Yeah, his chat. I don't know what was causing his chat to freeze up. I wonder if it was the weather. We're here. We're having bad rain here now. So no fishing for me. And I ordered. You probably heard me in Jimmy's chat. I ordered a Tenkara rod. My parents gave me like $500 for my birthday, so I got a new fly rod and a Tenkara rod. But I never know when it's going to come. Like if it's supposed to show up. The fly rod is here. I got the new fly rod, but I don't know about the other rod. Anyways, if you're interested in these streamers, Solo, I just attached this piece to the end of the loop. I'm making some streamers. So I'll show you. I do a lot of river fishing for trout. I don't do too much lake or pond fishing. So in the fast water, these streamers work pretty good. I like to use like these worm streamers, and they're just made on these articulated spines. And I just use Where is it now? I just use those Christmas ornament hooks that you use on your Christmas trees, and a pair of looping pliers, and then I can just make the spines up. So I attach that little end piece on, and then I put some crazy glue on, and that really locks it in good. With all the trout I've caught, I've yet to have that piece ever come off. Let's see if I can zoom it in. I'll move my camera closer. How's that better? Let's put this down a little bit. There, hopefully. Hopefully that helps. All right. So yeah, the reason I tie the end piece of the spines onto the hook rather than just use the actual hook eye is because with the wider hole on either of them, it gives that fly just more freedom to articulate. So it just gives them more freedom of movement. So that's why I do that. And then, so for these flies, I just use wool dubbing. So the whole thing is pretty much just wool dubbing right from the top to the bottom. So, what color? I think I'm going to do red. I think I'm going to do a red one because it's a really, really wormy color. All right, looks better. All right. Thanks, Solo. All right, so let's get my dubbins. Oh, I have a whole bin full of dubbins. I got every color you can imagine. Here, I'm going to use the red, and I need some orange. I think I'm going to use a fluorescent orange at the top. So I think it'll brighten it up. All right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our red dubbin. Was Jimmy finished solo? Did he finish off his stream? I was watching him on two different channels. I had him on my computer, and then I had him on the TV as well. So and on the TV I was going under my Laugh Out Loud channel, and on the computer I was under my Superflies channel, trying to give him as much support as I can. This way I was able to give him 2 thumbs up. The spring is such a treacherous time. So what I'm doing here, I'm just taking the dubbin and just putting it on with my fingers. It's called finger dubbing. And I just put a little bit at a time because you can always go back and add more, but it's hard to take it off if you put it too much. And if you make it really thick, it doesn't hold as well. Whereas if you just put it on little bits at a time, it actually ties it in really, really tight, which is better. And a lot of guys at this point, like, they'll use a wax or a glue on their line, like you'll see them waxing or gluing their line. I've never done that. I could do that, but I've never felt the need to do it. But I mean, if you ever want to do that, it's up to you. There's a lot of videos on how to do it. So I've got this little barbecue brush. I got a 3-pack of them at a store called Princess Auto, and it is super great for just pulling out these little dubbin hairs and thickening up the fly. And if you can't find one of those, in lieu of that, you can always take a piece of Velcro, and it might take just a little more effort, but it'll also help you to tease out your fly. And before I had this brush, I really used this method a lot. But since I got this brush, I don't use this one as much unless I'm really trying to get into like for example, like this is a really small hook. Like if I'm just trying to tease a tiny little area, then I will use that. But usually I can just get away with this brush. And as you see, it makes a really nice combed out tail. Like it really makes it nice. And it doesn't, like, hardly any of the fibers come out. So like this finger dubbing without waxing the line, if you tie it in gently, it works pretty well. But a lot of guys were raised up, oh, you got to wax your line. And I guess maybe on some threads, I use this clear nylon thread, and it really does a good job. Maybe if I was using like a regular sewing thread or something like that, then maybe I'd have to wax the line, but I've never had to. So, all right. So I'm just gonna tie this off. I'm gonna put 4 half-hitch knots in there, and you'll see I just use my fingers. I have the tools to do like I have 4 or 5 different whip finishers. I mean, I can always whip finish it, but in the time it takes to take out the whip finisher, I can already put 4 knots into it, and they're tight. And once you put them in, they're not going to unravel. So I'm going to trim that piece off now, like so. Now for me, I bought this little neo palladium magnet, and I'm going to slide it up because when I start adding these spines in there, so I'm going to put the next spine in there, and you just slide it open and you pull it up, and there you go. And then you can take it out of the vise, and now I have to attach the spine part very gently into my vise. Now what this magnet will do, it'll just, as I go along, I can pull the magnet down further. I'll just hold the next piece in place so it's not flopping and interfering, and then I won't get any of the wool or fur caught into it. So that's why I really like to do it that way. So now I'm going to start here at what we'll call the eye of the spine, and I'll attach my thread. And I'll work my way back, and then I'll work my way to the front, and I'll work my way back. And this usually tightens it up pretty good, and it's not going to go anywhere. So that's pretty good. And then I just start the whole process with the red again. Now, if you wanted to make a multicolored wool fly, like for example, here's one that I did that's like red and yellow. So you can just tie in the section. So if you wanted to dub, say, some yellow in there, and then you go a little bit up, tie some red in there, and then you just add the sections, and you can make them any sort of pattern you want, and you can make some pretty wicked patterns. Uh, there's one I have. I don't have it in here, but it's like a coffee colored. So I did like a light brown and a dark brown, and it looks kind of like a raccoon tail. It's pretty awesome. I really like that one. But for this particular one, we're just gonna do solid red up until just before the eye, and then we'll do that fluorescent orange in there. So you've been doing any fishing lately, Solo? Oh, these streamers, Solo. Usually, like in the spring, for sure, I use them for trout. 100%. I love to catch trout with these. And suckers. We have suckers and trout. So we got brown trout, and we have rainbow trout or steelhead, and those are the two main trout that we have. Um, if I go a little further north from me, we have speckled trout or you know, what do they call them? Speckled trout. Speckled trout, and they have another name for them. Why can't I think of it right now? My brain is frozen. All this Canadian weather is freezing my brain. Nice, you're getting out tomorrow? I was hoping to get out today. I so badly, I bought this Tankara rod. It's not expensive. It was about $25. And then the special line comes separate. So it's like, it was about $30. And I bought some of those bubbles that Jimmy fishes with. I really want to try that. It looks like kind of a cool thing. I know I'm mostly fishing with my fly rods, but I'm willing to give it a shot. And my mom, she doesn't have it. She can't fish really with a fly rod. She's not super good with a fly rod, so she just has a spinning rod. But she has a bunch of the flies I tied, and I thought if I give her one of those bubbles that Jimmy fishes with, maybe she could like get a further cast, and she could probably use some of my flies. So yeah, they look pretty good. Solo, are you a fly fisherman, or just a like a spinning fisherman, or all of it, or like what's your preferred fishing style? Oh, you've never tried it, eh? It's a lot of fun. I really like it. I never put anybody down for their style of fishing, however they like to fish. And when I was first getting into fishing, uh, so I I've been fly tying longer than I've been fly fishing. So I've been tying flies for spinning rod and casting. I just started bait casters. Cool. Um, yeah. So like I was tying flies, but I was using spinning gear, spinning rod. This went blurry. My camera went a little blurry. Um, and then I probably tied flies for, I'm gonna say 3 or 4 years before I ever casted one into the water. Before I ever got a fly rod. Uh, so and then once I started actually fly fishing, I put the worms away, and I never ever looked back. I just My fly tying has over the years just gotten better and better and better, and pretty much like I've caught everything on flies. I've caught catfish on flies. I've caught walleye and pickerel on flies. Um, Sunfish, largemouth bass, pike, muskie. Um, I caught so many different types of Canadian species that we have here in Canada. I've caught a lot of them on flies, and I've got probably like 10 different fly rods. So like I've got a one weight fly rod. I've got a 3, 4 weight, two, 3 or 4 that are 5, 6 weights. I've got a 7, 6, 7 weight, 8 weight, and I've got a couple that I have no idea what weight that they actually are, but I know that they're heavy duty. Yeah. So, and I just love teaching guys how to fish. Like so many guys see me go and catching fish. Like in the summer solo, I'm the panfish king. So like crappies and rock bass, sunfish, bluegills, perch. I'll go out and I'll have like I'll catch like 300 fish in about 4 hours. My wife goes with me. My mom goes with me. We I have a pontoon boat, like an inflatable pontoon, and I'll go out and I will sit on the water and float. And my mom and my wife Maria, they'll just sit on the bank and they'll have a coffee and talk about whatever ladies talk about me probably, who knows. What a horrible son I am. Anyways, yeah, then so we go out usually once or twice a week like that. And in the spring, like now is the oops, I snapped it off, but I got uh I got 3 or 4 loops in there. But I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna tie that a little better off because I'm not convinced. I really like to put 4 half hitches into my flies. Like this time of year, my mom and my wife, they're not gonna go out because it's spring. Here in Canada, our springs are until like summer really gets here, our springs are kind of crazy. We get like some years I'm already out at the creek. So this is why I'm losing my mind this year because this is the first year that I can really say in a long time that I have not been out fishing and it's already the end of March. Like normally I go out and I'll be fishing for trout in sometimes in February. So that's why I've been watching Jimmy's channel and just living vicariously through Jimmy and you guys, hearing about all the fish you guys are catching and all the fishing you're doing because I'm just going nuts in my head. But I'll tell you one thing, my fly boxes are all full. When it's time for me to hit the water, I'll be able to catch fish for sure. Okay, so I put the third and final piece on, and you don't have to tie another hook on. You can just use this as your tie on point because there's always the eye there, right? So if you only want to make it one hook, you can. I like to put a second hook in there sometimes, um, especially for trout. Maybe not so when I use these for panfish, but when I use them for trout, I definitely like to put a second hook because sometimes trout like to hit it at the head instead of the tail. So if your local waters allow you to use a double hook, like here in Canada, we can have flies with up to 3 hooks in them. I've never made a fly with 3 hooks in it. Uh, it's I can't really see the point of that, but 2 hooks for sure because it's good to have a trailer hook. If you're able to use a trailer hook, I for sure would use them. And for you, Solo, I think I understand completely. That's been really slow for me the past 3 years due to the do lots of work. Yeah, me things have been super slow. I've been out of work for a while. So uh, even though I'm a puppeteer, uh, with the way the economy's been since COVID, it has been super hard up here in Canada to find any kind of job. And our prime minister, Mr. Carney, he is letting in so many people and not making work for us. Like it's like we're starving, and he's just bringing in people after people. And I'm not against that. Like I like that Canada's a country where people from all different nations can come in. I really like people from all different nations. I'm a really loving person, so you know, I really feel if they can come and make a life here. But at the same time, if our people are starving and the job situation is so out of control, like why bring more people in and then just put them on the welfare system? It just doesn't make sense. So I'm going to add this extra. So I'm going to put this hook in the front, and I'm going to put it pretty close to the front. And when I tie it on or tie it in, it's going to be a good thing. And again, the tie-in eye is going to be bigger than the eye on the hook, which is good for a couple of things. If your hand dexterity is not good, it's definitely easier to get the line through a slightly bigger hole. So that's one good thing about it. The other good thing, it allows to tie on. So you use the eye of the hook to actually help grip better onto the spine, the articulated spine, and it really helps out in that way. So I'm going to tie it down pretty solidly. I'm going to give this a lot of extra wraps on here now because I really want this to be tied in tight. And whenever you attach a piece like a hook onto an articulated spine, I always crazy glue it in because I really want that to not go anywhere. And of course, my crazy glue is coming down to the end, so I got to poke a little hole in there. Forever the battle with the crazy glue. And if you're ever tying flies, always take your thread and your bobbin and hold it away. The worst thing you can do is have crazy glue squirt out, drip down, and into your threads. And these threads are like sometimes they're $6 to $7. And I've killed one of these by doing that. And it is so frustrating when you spend $6 on a new thread, you throw it on here, and you'd go and tie one or two flies, and you have to waste the rest of your thread. That's a pro tip. Don't ever do that. So now I'm going to throw a couple more loops in there, and that's just going to tie this whole thing in nice and solid. Now, because I've gone like a couple of, oh, thanks, Solo. Appreciate it, man. I always tell guys, this is one of the worst things. Like if you, I've done this more than once, so I can tell you firsthand. Like, money is the cost of things are going up and up. You don't want to kill your good threads, and not only that, like I have to drive about because not everywhere I go sells this thread. So I have to go to a craft store that's near enough. It's about a 20-minute drive from my house. I got to use 20 minutes of gas. Plus, I'm going to buy 5 or 6 of these spools at a time. So, it's expensive stuff. So I still think fly tying is cheaper than other forms of fishing. And if you build flies properly, like if you learn how to tie them really good, they'll last you a long time. Like one summer, I put on a fly. This is probably about 5 years back. I put on one fly. I didn't change it for an entire month, and I went out like 3 times a week that year. So it was like a really good year. Like I really got to get out a lot, and it was like a grasshopper fly. And I'm gonna tell you, Solo, it that fly lasted me like the whole summer, and I still probably have it before I even changed it. And some of these like some of these flies like these articulated flies, I've tied them. I've never lost them. Like I've caught fish after fish after fish. If you tie it, if you tie it in and take a couple of extra precautions, it'll last you a really long time. Like I've never regretted fly tying ever. Like I've always since I've done it, I go out and I just love to help guys. I've converted a lot of people from regular fishing to fly fishing because sometimes they see me having those 300 fish days and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Nothing really. I just fishing with flies." But you just have to know the fish, right? Like through the different seasons. So like in spring and fall, fish are eating bigger things. They're happy to eat bigger things in the spring because they're trying to recoup from that winter, where they weren't eating as good in the winter. So now they're trying to recover. And as they plump up in the summer, they've got all kinds of bugs to eat. They've got mice, they've got crayfish, then they got the little bugs. They got stoneflies and mayflies and scuds and all the little bugs plus the terrestrials, right? Ants, butterflies, dragonflies, and it's a buffet. And they don't have to work hard to catch those bugs. So in the summer, it's hot out, the water's warmer. They don't want to expend a lot of energy for a meal, and they know it. So that's why when the summer hits, I start using small stuff, right? Like beetles. Like here's a foam beetle I tied up today. I posted that video, so that's my newest video. So all these little foods, they're gonna eat them more readily because they don't have to attack it. They just have to open their mouth and do a little small thing and inhale a bug, right? But in the spring and the fall, the bugs start to die off. There's not so much going on. So then they're ready to take big minnows. They're ready to take crayfish. They're ready to take mice off the top or big frog or things that are like, the frogs start going into the water, into the mud to hibernate. So they start eating those things and targeting, right? So that's why, like when you're fly fishing, you just have to understand the seasons. And then, you've probably heard this before, Solo, so it's not news, but bright days, and you'll hear Jimmy say this too, right? Bright days, bright fly, dark days, dark fly. And that's because on a bright day, the water is usually clearer. The fish can see things further in the water. On a dark day or when the water's murky or when it's just been after a rain, dark things actually show up better in the dark water, so the fish can see them, target in on them better. But the other thing about flies, like I said, I've been fly tying long before I ever started fly fishing. You can use flies under a bubble or under a float or drop shotting. I've drop shotted a lot of flies. So even guys that I've met who've never had a fly rod, never touched a fly rod, I can still get them onto certain types of flies and have them catch a lot of fish. Yeah, so I was just trying to see if I had one. Here's one of my mouse flies. So this is a trout magnet. So especially brown trout. If you got brown trout in your area, this is a fly that for sure is fun to fish. You swim this little mouse across the across the water, and those trout are gonna explode on it. I keep trying to tell. I've emailed Jimmy and said, "Hey Jimmy, if you want, I can send you a couple of mice." And I'm sure in the lake, if he fishes them in the lake, those trout will come up and take it. One of these days, if when I can, I'm gonna send him some flies. But like some other flies that I like to tie are like these like gift bag. I call them gift bag minnows, and they're really cool. And you can make them balanced, right? So like a balanced leech, so that they hang level. And when that's in the water under a float, and the water is choppy, that thing's swimming along. I catch so many fish on a fly like this, uh, and it's just made out of like a gift bag. And then I form it out of a gift bag, right? And I just color it up. And every time I put a color of marker, I just cover it with a piece of scotch tape or packing tape. And then at the end, when I tie it all, I seal it in with some UV resin. And then you get this. And again, I got all kinds of different colors of those. I got every kind of color. I made this a little bit bigger one. This is like a smelt. So and then here's a different streamer I made yesterday. This is a white streamer. Very flashy. So yeah, I just I've been tying flies for so long solo. I don't even know. I just tie them now. But you can use them on your rods too, solo on like a spinning rod or a bait caster. There's definitely ways to do it. So now I'm gonna pick some bead chain eyes, and I'm gonna put some bead chain eyes right there. Thanks, Solo. Yeah, I'm hoping to get out and get some trout on film. I haven't filmed me catching any trout yet. Because last year, the season got really messed up. So I didn't really get out trout fishing too much last year. And that was the first year I really had a good camera. So this year I got like last year and this year now I have a better camera setup. So I won't be doing any live fishing, but I will definitely be recording it and putting them on the channel. Okay. So now we got that. The eyes are in. So this is the part you never see too many guys doing this. I don't know if it's just because they don't want to or they think I don't know. I never seen any fly tires do this. But because I'm always creating so many different types of flies, I do this. I turn my fly around in the vise, and then actually before I put it in, I got to do one thing. And I just take my line and I wrap it once around the hook. And then I'm able to tie that little bit in. So those couple of millimeters that I left extra, now I can dub them in. Hey, Bambi! How's it going? Two of my favorite people are here. It's always good having you guys around. So I'm such a fan of Jimmy's. And everybody's telling me I need to do live streams. I trying not to do them on days where he live streams. Oops, hit the camera. um, so I'm thinking Sundays might be my live stream day, the day that I deliberately live stream for fly tying, because I know Jimmy takes the weekends off a lot of the times, and I don't want to take away from Jimmy. He's too cool. Absolutely, the top two mods. Jimmy made me a mod, and I have no idea how it even works. So I'm a mod, and I don't even know how to mod. Like I know what it means to mod, but I don't know how to like what the settings are, or if somebody's being bad, or I don't even know how to kick somebody out or any of that stuff. Right? Wouldn't it be something if Jimmy spent the day fishing and then come to my live stream? He does so much. I don't know how he fishes all day and then live streams it and then live streams fly tying in the evenings. I don't know how he does it. He's just he's crazy. Right? Jimmy made us all mods and only a couple of us know how to do what we're doing. I can only give my opinion. If someone's acting up, I'll be like, "Hey, I'll ask somebody like, "Hey, Solo, you're going to have to delete that guy because I don't know." Lock them up in YouTube prison. All right. So now I got this going on here. I forgot. I got to comb this out before I put the orange in there. There we go. Nice and fluffy and puffy. And the good thing about it, you can be a little rough. You don't have to be gentle with these flies. You can tease out those furs. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put a little more red in there because I want it to be tapered, right? And as you see, it's thin on the bottom and it got thicker, and then here looks a little weak. So I'm actually gonna go in and I'm gonna put another couple of pinches of dubbin in there because you want it to be built up on the head. Because that tapered will is what'll allow that water to flow through and make that whole fly wiggle. So if you don't have it tapered enough, it isn't going to have as much action. And then the action that the fly doesn't do by itself, which is called sympathetic movement. So if you don't have enough sympathetic movement, then you're going to have to add that in with the rod or your fly rod or whatever rod you're using. And the more movement you have to add to a fly, the harder it is on your wrist during the day to fish them. So I try and get as much sympathetic movement in a fly as I can because it really makes it go a long way. I tried to give, let me see here. He might be. I tried to give warnings, but sometimes their comments are just too yeah. I'll time them out immediately. You're so good. Thank you. So I usually don't even see. Well, thank you, Bambi. You do. Really great. Shucks. How do I like on this chat? Hmm. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure what you guys see. So I'm not sure to tell you how to like it. There should be a thing on there, a like button. Well, really? That's a lot of steps. Close the chat and then hit the like button and come back into the chat. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, close the chat. Right. Jimmy's is easier. Mine is complicated. Leave it to me to be complicated, right, guys? Oh, I love you guys. This is my first really official attempt at live streaming where I'm trying to chat with people in Thai flies. So thank you guys so much for the support. It really means a lot to me, and on my puppet channel too. You guys are really special to me. It means a lot to have you here. Okay, so we got the orange on there. Let's comb that out and see, blend that all in. Oh, actually, it's a little loose on the end here. Let me just tie that down. I'm going to add a little more. Okay. Now we'll just comb that out. So I never tie it off until after I comb it out. And the reason for that is because as you're combing it out, if you catch that thread in the fly with the wool, it'll be strong enough to unravel it or untie it. So whenever you have to do something that you're combing out, never tie off the piece until after you've combed it out. All right. And then I'll go in front of those eyes on that front loop and I'll tie it off. Like so. And I do like 4 of those. And then I'll come in with the scissors and give it a trim. Beautiful. And then what I like to do is I like to take my hemostats, clip it on the front, take it out of the fly, and then I can just, usually I do this on my knee, but I'm going to show you guys. Then I can just go underneath all the parts that are on the underneath and just comb it all and make sure it's all nice and fluffy all the way around. And then you have your articulated worm streamer. And if you want the eyes to be black, I don't have any, I didn't take it out. It's buried in my mess. So I'm not going to do that. But if you take some black nail polish, like Sally Hansen's or some kind of black nail polish, you can just coat that in the eyes with whatever color you want. You can, sometimes I'll make them red. I have red nail polish or black, or depending on the fly. And then you can make them black. See, like they look like that there. And it'll just give it a different look. So, but those are all like little choices after effect choices. But mostly I just wanted to show everybody how to get this articulated streamer working. And again, you can make them long. Like I've made some articulated streamers really, really long, and some of them are, these are like a shorter articulated streamer. Again, I use them for trout, but I also use these for like crappie and panfish, like bluegills, sunfish, and all that. So, you know, um, that's why when I use them for bluegills and panfish, I don't usually put this second hook because most of those fish will be just come up and grab it by the tail. So they'll just nip it by the tail. But when you fish with trout or for bass, like if a bass comes up and takes this, he's going to inhale that whole thing. So having that front hook, because usually when they inhale it, they inhale like this, right? And then if they don't catch that front hook, then they might catch that back hook. So it's always good to have that double insurance on there. Same as like a trout. Trout has a big mouth. So depending on if they're chasing this down, they're gonna eat the whole thing. And sometimes they T-bone it. So sometimes they'll come in from the side and they'll eat it from the oops, I dropped it. They'll eat it right from the side. So if they eat it from the side, it's always good to have that extra hook in the front. But sometimes, if they're not really in the mood for chasing down a big streamer, so comes wiggling past them, they'll just turn their head a little bit and they'll just get it by the tail. So you will just want to have, that extra streamer hook in the tail. Again, always check your waters. Always check your waters. So to make sure that if you can have more than one hook. Again, here in Canada, we can have up to 3 hooks in a fly. So I don't do that. I don't usually have 3 hooks, but I always try and get a stinger in there if I can. Hey, we lost somebody. Who'd we lose? One of my 2 very important people are not showing as viewing now. Did some guy come on and said that you're not allowed to fish in Cuba today? Somebody was in here and left a comment? Other than you two? Really? Well, I can make you guys mods, but you're going to have to tell me how to do it. Do I just click on your name and it'll give me an option? Maybe let me try that. Channel activity, go to channel, pin message, report remove, put user in timeout. No, I don't want to do that. Add as a moderator. There you go. Managing moderator can manage blocked words and change chats. Standard can review and remove chat messages. Hide. Okay. I think that was you, Solo. Solo might be the first mod. Let's see what. Bambi. Add as mod. Oops. Hang on. What happened? She's a standard moderator, but I gotta make her a regular moderator. What did I hit wrong here? Where is she? What did I do here? I forgot to click the second button. I gotta put it back. Add as moderator. Okay, here we go. Why is it? It only gives me a choice, managing or standard. Change chat mode live. Chat modes in live. Capability standard moderator. Can review, remove chat messages, and hide or forget. Okay, there you go. The mod squad right there. My two favorite people. You guys are the blue shields, the protectors. The protectors of the channel. My favorite people. My vice went out of view now. Did I lose you both? All right. Well, I'm going to tie another one of those, I think, because I need more of them. But I'm going to tie a really pretty one now. I'm going to tie a really pretty one. So let's do a very tropical one. So I'm going to let you guys decide. I can do pink and yellow, or I can do yellow and red with the red head. What do you guys think? You don't see Solo Shield? Solo likes the yellow and red one. Yeah, bright for the sunny days. Hopefully for the sunny days to come. We need some sunny days here for sure. All right, Solo. I'm going to do that. This is the one. This is the one right here. I'm going to make this one next. Nice. Good idea, Solo. All right. So I already made the spines for this one. I have them already here. So I'm not going to show you guys again. Unless do you guys want to see me make spines again? I can show you again. I'm going to put these here so I don't lose them. And we're going to start with the trailer hook. Can you click on my name? And does it allow you to time me out? I could put you in a timeout. I don't want to put you in a timeout. I don't even know how that works. So I don't even want to do it. Do you like set the timeout number? I'm not even doing that. But it gives me the option to do it. Did I just lose a hook? I thought I grabbed a hook. Jeez. So you're going to take a hook, put it in the vise. Drop the little end piece. Not good. Put that up. You guys just make sure that that stuff works. And I put my complete faith in you. If you need anything, just let me know. Excellent. I don't know how Jimmy is able to talk to so many people while he's chatting or while he's fishing or tying flies. I don't know if I could. I for sure couldn't not live chat while I was fishing. Like that would never happen. I would never go fishing live. I don't know how he does that. He's just watching him is so crazy. Checking for the eagles, checking for this, checking for that. Plus, he's got two rods on the go. He's got the bait rod, and then he's got the bubble rod. Like I don't know. I don't even know how he does that. I would never be able. I could not handle all that responsibility, and then respond to so many people's chats and conversations, and that's crazy to me. Like Jimmy's got Jimmy's got some skills because I for sure can't do that. And I for all the channels I've ever watched lives on, I never seen them handle the chats like that and by themselves. So if they do answer their chats, it's usually they're tying flies and they have a friend or a wife or a kid or something reading the chats for them while they're tying flies, and then respond their people are responding for them. I don't know. I just it's crazy. Apps. Thanks, Solo. Absolutely takes practice. I maybe I'll get better at it. Uh, for me, I'm gonna get wound up in the fly. I know I am. I'm gonna be here. Yeah, he is. He is a bright young man. How old is Jimmy? Do you know how old Jimmy is? Thanks, Solo. You take it easy. Uh, yeah. Uh, I'm very glad that you showed up. Uh, uh, it's an honor that the two of you showed up. I really feel privileged and honored that you guys showed up today, and uh, definitely makes me feel better. And thanks for helping me work out some of the kinks in it and learning a little bit more about the mod process. Uh, so yeah, I just anytime I can be better at what I'm doing is always better. So again, thank you. God bless you both for coming and so amazing. Uh, and whenever you're free, like I said, I'm probably going to be doing this on Sundays. I don't know if you guys are free on Sundays. Uh, that's probably going to be the main day. I might do this in between, but probably not if I see Jimmy online. If Jimmy's online time flies or fishing, I'm probably not going to step on his toes and try and steal his thunder because I really like Jimmy and I don't want to do that. So, but I do want to boost his channel and help him get going. Beautiful, Solo. 39 to 43, yeah. I'm about 5 years, six, well, if he's 39, I'm 8 years older than him. All right, God bless you, Solo. We'll for sure catch you on the next one. And now I've got Bambi all to myself. Ha 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 ha. Beautiful. So Bambi, what kind of fishing? What's your favorite kind of fishing? Are you a are you a fly girl or a spinning rod girl or a bait cast girl or? I need some yellow. Oh, look at this nice yellow. I'm gonna put some nice yellow in there. This is gonna be a good fly. Yellow with a red head. Oh, God bless you, Bambi. We're very blessed to have you. Is that little purple girl at the end with her hands up like, I don't know what kind of fishing I like? Oh, the old rubber worm, the bass fishing. Yeah. I did a little bit of that. I haven't in a long time, granted. I used to do a bit, but once I got into fly fishing, I kind of never looked back. I was telling Solo like I've been fly fishing for so long now that I can catch almost any kind of fish on a fly. Any of our Canadian fish, anyways. I I've never been saltwater fishing or fishing in the ocean with a fly or anything like that. But like all our freshwater fish here in Canada, I've caught I've caught a fair amount of them. All the most common ones for sure. Yeah, bass is one of my favorite fish. I love bass fishing. For me, smallmouth is my favorite fish of all the fish. Smallmouth is my favorite. Whenever I get a chance to be in the smallmouth, I will for sure be there. Yeah, I set this my computer to one comment per second. So like every second somebody can comment. Uh, but I don't know if it still allows them to do that. It let me set it like 60 seconds, 2 minutes. I'm like 2 minutes. Could you imagine if we had a chat full of people and you could only leave a comment, like see a comment every 2 minutes? That would be horrible. I don't know anybody who would do that. I mean, I set it to 1 second because I want to see and they make you put it to 1 second. Like you can, that's the lowest you can go. But I put it to 1 second because I want to see people's chats like as quick as I can, so that like if I do a thing, they respond. But it's funny. I was watching Jimmy's channel on TV and then on my computer, and there was such a lag. There was such a lag that like I could hear it first on my computer, and then on my TV was like 4 minutes later. So whatever I heard on my computer, 4 minutes later, I heard it on the TV. That was kind of crazy. Flat, you know. I think Bambi. You know what? Really, I think a lot of people make it look complicated, but it is not that complicated. It's the tying. So like the fly tying. If you tie your own flies, um, and even that's not complicated. But uh, they a lot of these guys on TV, they do make it look complicated. They make it seem like it's a rich guy sport for snobby rich guys. That's how they come across. And a lot of these guys are businesses. So they're like, oh, you got to buy this device, or you got to buy this tool, or you got to wear these waders, or you got to buy this rod, or you got to buy these special lines. And they make it so complicated that they scare people away. And then, the average guy or girl does not want to fly fish, because if you even me, when I watch these guys on TV, I'm like, I don't want to fly fish. I don't want to tie flies. Now I know the difference because I've been doing it for so long. And when I started fly tying and fly fishing, there was no Google. I've been tying flies and fly fishing longer than Google. So there was no YouTube, there was no Facebook, there was no Snapchat or any of these. Like I'm so self-taught for fly fishing and fly tying. If I had the knowledge that guys and girls had today, my flies would be through the roof for sure. But if I have a message for anybody, the message would just be, talk to somebody who's been doing it a long time, but try and find somebody who's not so uppity, because there's a lot of uppity people. Like for me, like I got a box full of tools. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you my tools. Don't let this box scare you. Remember, it's 48 years of collecting, right? So this is my box of tools. I've got pliers and scissors, and I've got 4 different vices in here, like 10 pairs of scissors. I got hemostats, whip finishers, deer hair stackers, some homemade tools, some store-bought tools. I got everything in this box. But don't let it scare you, because half of what I've got in that box nobody needs, including me. I've got tools in that box I've never even used. So like, if you've ever considered trying fly fishing or fly tying, Bambi, like if that's something you've even considered, I say give it a shot. Initially, the one thing that can be a little expensive is this part here, the vise, the part that holds the flies. And there's such a wide range of vices that range from like $20. I've seen some as cheap as $11, up to like thousands of dollars. And I have 3 of this type of vise here and 1 other vise. And this is called a crown vise. And it rotates, and it's got a handle that's, you can just release, like spring-loaded handle, rather than where you have to actually screw in the fly every time. And that's only because I have oh, anyways, I think I lost you. Anyways, that's only because I have so much. I've been doing it for so long. Otherwise, if I had not been doing fly tying for so long, I would just have a simple vise. But I tie a lot of flies. Like I tie probably a couple hundred flies every day. Like I just get up in the morning, I tie a bunch of flies, then I do some puppety stuff, then I have lunch with the wife, then I usually tie a few more flies, then we go out shopping or do some kinds of things, and then I come home and I tie some more flies or do another puppety thing. So like I tie a lot of flies. So for me, I have to have a vise like this. But my very first vise, I gave it away to a friend of mine uh, about 3 or 4 months ago because he was getting into fly tying, and it was one of the old screw vices. And I said, "Here, you can start learning on this vice." And then once he got that vice, he just he got another vice because he started tying a lot of flies like I did and realized that there's limitations. So this is probably your best investment is is this vice. If out of all the tools you can have, there's two tools you absolutely need for sure. One is a bobbin for holding your threads, and one is a vise. And you don't have to get the most expensive bobbin. There's also expensive bobbins too, right? So I just say like if you've been fly tying as long as I have, you will eventually get there. And if you're just a occasional tire or an experimental tire, or you're just going to tie a couple of flies just to try it, or just if you just do it a couple times a week or once a month or whatever, then just get whatever gear suits you. Like you don't have to get the most expensive gear. If you're not gonna tie flies every day like me, I don't recommend you getting the most expensive gear. Go buy a cheap vise on Temu or Amazon and just get started and just do it. And then if you find that you like it, like me, I have materials, tons of materials. I have bins and bins. Like here's this is my wool bin material. So I got wool bins. I've got bead bins for all my beads. And I've got like 10 of those bead bins. And then I've got a different kind of eye bin for different kind of eyes. And I've got a bin, this kind of bin for just my metallics. And then I've got a bin for feathers. So I got every kind of fly and bin and tool you can possibly imagine. But again, I've been doing it. Oh yeah, you're from Bambi. You're from the before the computers. Yeah, absolutely. So you know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, it's everything I do is I love the art about it. Even with the puppetry or with the fly tying, I'm passionate about the art and the creation and the making things look real or making them look really nice or yeah, like it's for me it's a passion. You anything you do in life, you have to be find a passion. So some people like music, some people like baking and cooking, some people like fishing, some people like fly fishing, some people like bait casters, some people like spin reels, some people like spey rods or tinkara or drop shotting or there's so many different ways to catch fish and so many different things. Like you just have to find out in life what your passion is. And for me, when at a very young age, I tied flies. I just got into it. Uh, One of my teachers gave me my very first vise, one of my high school teachers, and I was just able to just run with it. And I would get a hook from wherever I could get a hook from because in high school days I didn't have a lot of money, so I just wherever I could find a hook, I'd get a hook and I'd start tying whatever materials on there that I could find. I was telling Solo that earlier today that before about 5 years before I ever fished with a fly, I was tying flies. So so I had the the art of tying down to a science. And those 5 years before I ever fished with a fly, I was a worm fisherman. Float, worm, little piece of worm, and I would just like a little piece of worm the size of my thumbnail and a tiny, tiny float. And I started catching everything, every kind of, every kind of fish. And then once I went into fly fishing, like once I started fishing with flies, I never turned back. I never looked back at any kind of other form of fishing really, except there's things that I can tell you that carried over, like so flies. All these flies that I tie, you can fish them under a float on a spinning rod or on a center pin rod, or I've got like a pen rod. Oh, you like to draw? Yeah, see, like that's the thing. So I'm sure you're passionate about drawing, right? Like, and again, your first pictures were probably not perfect, right? But the more time you draw, the more things you draw. Whether what kind of things you like to draw, Bambi? Like caricatures or real life, or like scenery, or like actual people, like real people. I heard like faces and real people are like the hardest to draw. And I've never been a I've draw I drew like back in high school I did some drawing, but I was never I was never amazing at it. But when I'm not doing this fly tying, definitely, well, you probably already realized this. My other biggest passion is the puppets for sure. Because I love the puppets because I give out so many stuff to the kids. In the last 3 years, I've probably been able to give out like $3,500 worth of stuff to the kids, like puppets that I made. I've put so many smiles on their faces, like, and for me, there's nothing like that. When a kid smiles, I hand them a puppet, and they brighten up, you know, and their parents are like, "This is amazing! It's so cool." Because this world we live in, sometimes it's a scary place, and when you can find a joy or a smile in it, That's just the best feeling. There's nothing compares to that. That's why we need you guys to moderate our channels, because you guys keep all the scariness and the evil and the people that are just trolling us. You keep them all at bay. This is a bright fly. This is going to be pretty. I let Solo pick the colors of this one. He said, bright fly, bright days. Just comb this one out. Is that what you like to draw, people and angels? That's awesome. That's incredible. That must be hard to draw, though. I tried drawing. I back in high school, like I said, I used to draw a bit, but once I got into fly tying and fly fishing and puppetry, I kind of never really did too much drawing after that. And then computers came along, and I did a lot of digital art, like digital design. So I did a lot of that stuff. Oh, thanks, Bambi. Yeah, the puppets, they make me happy, Bambi, because I get to dress up and be a little crazy, and not like bad crazy, the good kind of crazy. Uh, it just, when I'm dealing with the puppets and people, I'm not thinking about my financial situation or my health situations or any other thing. I'm just focused on God and the puppets and my wife, because my wife, I never do the puppets without my wife, because people would just think that's weird. 48-year-old guy walking around by himself with handing out puppets to kids. That would just be weird. But I always have my wife with me, and we only give puppets to kids with their parents that are with them. And we ask permission, and that's what we do. And you probably notice, like, even when we do the shout outs, I don't put people's last names. I only put their first names. And, that's because we don't want people to be like hunting people down or doing anything, or like, the internet's a scary place. And if people don't act responsibly, it can be really scary. And I'm all about being joyful and light and happy and safe. So, but definitely, I think people are liking the shout outs. We've been doing the shout outs for about a year now. And whenever we go out in the community, giving out puppets, or like if we meet a cashier who's really nice, or, somebody who's really helpful, or sometimes somebody who's just really into the puppets, then we like to just, shout them out. Oh, that's okay, Bambi. I've done that too. Sometimes I type something, my brain types faster than my hands type faster than my brain, and I type it wrong, and then it's like, oh, that's not what I meant to say. And autocorrect. I don't know. Like sometimes I think autocorrect. Does this chat have autocorrect? Because I've typed things and the autocorrect like changed what I said. I'm like, I didn't type that. Oh, I forgot to put the second hook. Oh well. So this fly can be hooked. This I was telling Solo. This fly here can be one or two hooked, depending on what you're fishing with it. So if you're fishing for like trout, you want to have two hooks, trout or bass, because they're gonna swallow the whole fly. So you're gonna need that double hook. But if you're just fishing for panfish like crappies or bluegills or sunfish, you only need the one hook at the end because most of those fish come up, they're following behind that thing and they're just taking little bites at it. So I always try to I think about what it is I'm going to catch. So like this is going to be just for panfish, like perch like these yellow colors with the red. So and perch, they don't really inhale hail flies like those other fish. They just come up behind and they follow it, and just take little nips at the tail. So I'm gonna comb this yellow out, and then I'm gonna put the red in. Where do you live, baby? Like what country are you in? You already know I'm Canadian, I think. I wish the rain would stop. We got rain. First we had snow. Now we have tons of rain. Every time I watch Jimmy fishing, I'm like, I just want to go out fishing so bad. Look at this. This is looking good. Very fish catchy. There's a trout with my name on it, Bambi, out there somewhere. And a bass with your name on it. Here where I am in Ontario, most of our bass fishing is not open until June. So we're a ways off from being able to catch bass. So there it is. There it is. I like it. Sometimes I color the eyes black. Sometimes I leave them silver. It just depends. That little silver is just enough sparkle sometimes just to get those fish to bite. I'm always wondering if Jimmy, because I've caught lots of trout on these, so I'm wondering if Jimmy fished with a fly like this under the bubble, if he would catch some cool trout. The country of Florida, oh, the USA. You're in the USA. Nice. It's warm there. You guys should be able to bass. You're able to bass fish now, right? Yeah. I've been down to Florida a couple times. It's nice down there. I used to work on the Carnival Cruise Lines as a social host, and our ship was always at port there. Yeah, liking this one. Liking this one. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Well, I'm not sure what I'm going to tie now. You have any requests, Bambi? You want to see any kind of special flies? I'm going to make you a special fly just for you. The Bambi fly. Got to make a pretty Bambi. I know. I'm gonna mix these colors. I'm gonna mix these colors here and make a Bambi fly. It's gonna look awesome. A bass catchy one. All right, that's what I'm gonna do. For my very special friend Bambi, part of the mod squad. We're all part of the mod squad together. All right. So I don't know if you saw earlier how I make these spines. I'm gonna make another articulated one, but a Bambi one. So this is how we make the spines. I got these Christmas tree hangers from that you hang your ornaments on the hooks. And for the tail, you just need to make, so this is a looping pliers. And what you do with your looping pliers, you make this little loop, and then you just make this one straight. And then you cut it off. So that's the tail piece. And then absolutely. Yep. Bass will eat it. Trout will eat it. I've caught lots of bass on these flies too. Bass, trout. It's just a good fly. Like something about that articulated pattern. It just does a good thing. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my looping pliers and I'm going to do the same thing. But for this one, I'm going to turn it upside down. And instead of making the loop this way, I'm going to make the loop this way. So that's the opposite of the way I did it. And when you join these spines together, then that's what makes the whole system work. So that's number 2. And then I'm going to make one more, but I need another hanger. I'm going to make that one just a little longer. Oh yeah, where the Disney one was, eh? I never got to go on the Disney ones. But I could go on any Carnival one. So anytime the Carnival ships were at dock, because I was a Carnival employee, I could go from my ship to any other ship. That was kind of a cool thing, being able to do that. I enjoyed that. I did that for 2 years, being a social host. And then they did a horrible thing to me. You like black, white, or blue? Oh, you want me to change the colors? I'll change the colors. I'll make it any way you want. Black, white, or blue? How about, let me see here. Did I use it all up? Hopefully I didn't use it all up. I got so much material, Bambi, it's not even funny anymore. Oh. I got an idea. We're going to make it black and blue, but I'm going to give it a white tail. There you go. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Special one just for Bambi. And it's going to be bass catchy. Okay, so we're going to start with our little hook. Put it in there. In the vise. And we're going to attach our thread. Just like that. All right. And the next thing we're going to do is take our end piece and we're going to put it in there. When I fish with this Bambi, if I catch fish with it, I'll post it up on my channel. The Bambi fly. The Bambi streamer. Okay, so we got that tied in. Now, oops, knocking my... I got so much stuff on my crazy desk. My fly tying off. This is crazy. I got, look, stuff all over the place. Stuff on the floor, stuff on that desk, stuff on the floor. Crazy, Bambi. Crazy stuff. I don't know how my wife doesn't leave me. I'm so messy. I clean up really well, surprisingly. When I clean up, I clean up well. But in the creation process, I am forever making a mess. Forever. All right, here we go. I'm gonna add a nice white tail for Bambi. So I'm gonna use some craft fur. I'm gonna comb out the extra little fluffy parts. And then I'm going to trim it with my scissors. Okay. So now it's going to be really wavy in the water. So I'm going to put this on my hook like this. Just like that. So it's going to have a nice white wavy tail. And I just want to add a little bit of sparkle in there. So I got these little sparkle pieces. I'm going to add them in there. Because you know, Bambi, that the bass love sparkly. A little bit of sparkle gets those bass to go. I'm going to put some orange sparkle in there with that white. Just like that. Beautiful. We're going to change it anyways. We're going to do it anyways. So we're going to do blue with black stripes. Blue with black stripes. I always wonder about that lagging. I wonder why the computers sometimes lag like that. I think it's just there's so many people online nowadays, like, you know, that just this. I think the system honestly can't handle it. To be really honest, it's a man-made system, and computers can only do so much. And with, you know, and the more people you have chatting and conversing and sending pictures and sending videos and all that, I think the computers they just outright can't do it. So there's the blue part. Now we're gonna dub in the black part. The Bambi fly. I'll have to have Grampy do a shout out for you, Bambi, with the Bambi fly. He can do a whole episode. This is the Bambi fly, and this is a super bass catcher, and it's a trout catcher, and any other small panfish. It'll be super cool. I bet you people will dig it. There's my little comb. Okay, so now we're gonna brush out all the wool and make it nice and fluffy. So first, I comb it from the sides to tease out all those fibers. And then once I get all the tight fibers teased out, then I just do a gentle comb back, because I don't want any of the colors to be overpowered by any of the other colors. I want it to be facing backwards, but I don't want it to be like covered over. Just like that. All right. That looks pretty good like it is. I don't even have to make it an articulated streamer. I just put some eyes on that. I bet you that'd be pretty cool. That's my wife. Yeah. My wife's at her dad's today. It's his birthday. So she's visiting her daddy. Unfortunately, he's not a nice man, which is why I don't visit him. Otherwise, I'd be there with her. I've tried for many years to get along with that fella, but it doesn't work. Okay, so here we go. Part number 2. But yeah, I bet you that part alone, if I didn't articulate it, if I threw some eyes on there, I bet you that color scheme alone would do some good stuff. I know some fish would eat it. But here on Superflies for Super Guys, it's go big or go home. And for you, Bambi, we're going to go big. Gonna go big. All right. So the next thing, we're going to add some blue in there. I got to start, bring the thread back down to the end. Yeah, this is looking good already. I can tell this is going to be. This is going to be spectacular. Do 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 do. All right. So there's the blue. We'll comb that out a little bit. It's easier to comb out each color separately because when you put in the next color, it doesn't blend so badly, like it doesn't get mixed in so badly, and each color then stands out better. So when you do them, when you put both colors in or all the colors in and then you comb it out, they overlap and blend in a little too much, and then they don't pop out. And I like them to pop out. So now we're going to put the black in there. This is looking good, Bambi. Good choice. Black and blue. Like it. Those who like it a lot. Yabba dabba. Oh, that looks good. This looks so good. I just know this is going to catch fish. Good call. I think I've been watching Jimmy for too long, Bambi. Sometimes I sound like him even a little bit. He's been ingrained in my head. He's a nice guy. I really like Jimmy. I think I don't know how I literally don't know how he does it. I just don't like. Solo was saying he just practice, practice, practice. But being able to talk to people and tie flies and check your chats, like right now it's just you and me, and it was Solo before. But if I had as many people chatting with me as Jimmy did, I don't think I could keep up with all that. That's why Jimmy's special. Jimmy has a special talent. Like any live streams or most of the ones I've ever watched, the people do not like they chat a little bit with their people in the chats, but I never seen them be able to keep up with the chatting, especially during fishing. Like that's crazy. Jimmy's there with the camera looking for eagles, chatting with us all, keep I don't know. He's a special guy. He's a special kind of guy. And I hope his other channel does good like his first channel because he's a really nice dude. I really like him. I hope he gets his money shot with the Eagles because I know he's really trying hard to do that. So I hope he gets that shot. It's a hard shot to get. How do you get an animal to do what you want him to do? You just got to be the right place at the right time. Here where we are in Canada, we don't we have some bald eagles, but not really like in Ontario, Canada. Not in my part of Ontario for sure. Like down in southern Ontario, we just don't have those birds. Like if you see one, it would be a very special honor for us to see it because that's not a regular visitor to us. Hey Bambi, you want me to do crazy eyes? I got some crazy eyes. I got I could do some nice big eyes. I could do blue eyes, or I could do like these orange bead eyes, or I could do these purple eyes, or I could just do the bead chain eyes. What do you think? Blue, purple, or orange, or bead chain? I'm gonna keep working on this. You let me know. All right. So next I'm gonna do blue. This is looking so good, I'd eat it. If I saw that swimming by, I'd be like, hey, that looks like a dessert. Where did I put my blue? Here it is. I got so much mess. I haven't done any puppets in like puppet videos in like 2 or 3 days. I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to pull them out and make a puppet video. Okay, there's the blue. Really? I can't imagine people disrespecting you. You seem so like such a nice person. Well, I know I'm going to show you respect. I respect you big time, actually. You were nice to me right from the first time I came onto Jimmy's live streams, and I really appreciate that. You have a special place in my heart, Bambi, for sure. No. Was that on Jimmy's, the mule deer? Was that today or I was there for a while on Jimmy's today, but then I kind of got off because I had to download that a video that I made with the Beatles, and then I needed to take advantage of this time to live stream. So no, I didn't. I didn't see it. I wish I did. So he's gonna have a nice black head, Bambi, on this fly. But do you think I should do blue eyes or orange eyes or purple eyes? Or the bead chain eyes? Why do I have that? So I got the blue. I can do the blue ones, or I can do the purpley ones, or I can do the orangey ones. What do you think? The lag is so bad in the comments in the chat. I do apologize to everyone who's watching about the lag. I really am. I wish it wasn't laggy. Technology does what it wants to do sometimes. Well, I'll put in some of the black, but I'm going to have to put those eyes in before I do all the black. So we'll start with a little bit of the black. We'll dub it in. WW. If you're watching, feel free to say hello. We'd be more than happy to get to know you. It's showing me that a couple of people are watching, so thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this fabulous Thursday night fly tying. Making these streamer flies. This one here I'm making for my good friend Bambi. Let her pick the colors. Okay, Bambi, I got to make an educated guess. Forgive me if I guess wrong. But going with the blue and black theme, I'm going to do blue. Blue eyes it is. So these eyes here are just chain eyes from like a Mardi Gras beads. So like a Mardi Gras necklace. And there's this little tag. I just want to cut that off. It was bothering me. All right. So blue eyes it is. Okay. So now I'm just going to add a little more black. And then we can comb it out. And I think this is going to be very, very bass catchy. I think bass will really like it. The Bambi fly. Oh, Bambi said she likes the blue. All right, I made a good call. Good call. Okay, so I'll just tie that couple of half hitches in there behind the eyes. And I'll take out my trusty brush and brush it out. I'll have to take a picture of this and post it up in the community section. So if you're watching, last week I added the community section. So if you have any pictures of your own, any flies or fish you catch on flies or whatever, you can just post them up in the community. I'd love to see what kind of things you guys are doing. Beautiful. Look at this. Spectacular. I'm digging it, Bambi. I'm digging it. Good choice. Blue and black and white. Snip that off. Yeah. Look at that. Woohoo! That is a bass catchy. I'm going to have to go out in the summer and catch a bass with that. For sure. The Bambi fly right there. Like it. Those who like it a lot. Yeah. I'll try and do an episode. I'll do a whole episode. The Bambi fly. Just fish the Bambi fly for a whole day. See what we catch. That'll be the plan. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So I tied that, and I tied this one for Solo, our good buddy Solo. He chose the colors of these ones. He said he likes this colors for light, bright colors, bright day. That was the one before the Bambi fly. So I'm really, really digging that. And I tied this red worm. Really nice colors. I've caught a lot of fish on these ones. Absolutely dig this fly in the red. This is a very trout. If you're a trout fisherman, very trout. Trout love this. They think it's a nice juicy worm, and they take it. So those are the three flies that I tied. Oh, thanks, Bambi. I did it. Yes. I did it. Somehow in this mess of fly tying stuff, lately I've been experimenting with these balanced leeches. I've always tied leech patterns, but never balanced. And I seen this technique on some other channels, uh, and it really makes sense. Fishing things horizontally versus vertically. Uh, it just, as a leech swims in the water, swims like that. Balance things are very important. Um, this is the way I used to tie them, not balanced. Just some chenille for the tail, and then chenille for the body, and a bead, egg bead, and they catch fish. They really do. Leeches is a good fish catchy. Most fish eat leeches, but when I fish them, of course, as they're sinking like this, and then when I retrieve them, they do go a little bit vertical. But if you put that balanced, hook, like when I tie them with this little piece in there. So I'll tie that on like so. And when you tie that little piece on and make them balanced, um, it just presents more natural. Because if you're watching a leech actually swim, they usually do swim really horizontal. They're not, sometimes they're diving into the rocks or whatever, but most of the time they are swimming along in a horizontal fashion. So the balanced leech is a really good fly. It's for trout and for most panfish. It's a good fly. And once I started making those balanced leeches, I got the idea. Let's make some of my gift bag minnows balanced as well. So when I do these gift bag minnows, I include that. Instead of putting the eye of the hook here at the front, I put the eye of the hook up here. And so now they're balanced as well. And again, it's more natural for a fish to be swimming balanced than not balanced. No Bambi episode. Are you shy, Bambi? Anyways, back to this. If Yeah, so these gift bag minnows are really super cool. Again, they come in a lot of different colors. Um, you can do a lot with a gift bag minnow. Um, here's a nice color scheme. The green and the white. They look really. Well, Bambi, if 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 they don't want to stick around, that's their problem, because you have a cool name and there's nothing wrong with it at all. And if people leave because of it, that's their problem. And I'm not gonna I'm not gonna shun you or disapprove of you or make you feel bad in any way because of your name. I'm gonna tell you a secret, Bambi. My name being Jody, being a unisex name, uh, I got it's more of a girl's name than a boy's name. And when my mother named me that, I always felt very in when I was young, I got teased a lot about it and picked on and bullied. And I almost wanted to commit suicide when I was young because I got bullied so badly. But when I got to high school, I met a teacher, and his name was Konstantin Papoutsis. And he had a fishing club. And that is the man who saved my life. He invited me into his fishing club. He made me feel welcomed and cared for and safe. And he's the one who got me into fly tying and eventually fly fishing. And he was the best man, became the best man at my wedding. And still today, Even for 35 years later, we still go fishing together. We still hang out together. And he's the guy who taught me to be secure in my manhood. He taught me to what being a man was all about. He taught me how to be brave, and he taught me that it's okay to be me. And because of him, I no longer wish to kill myself. And here I am today, bringing joy and love to people, with the puppets, with the fly tying, with the everything I do. And you know, I have no regrets. And sometimes, and now I love my name, and my wife loves my name. And so yeah, if somebody ever bothers you because of your name, Bambi, in any of my chats, for sure, we'll block them out, because I would never pick on a person because of their name. Uh, that's just rude and disrespectful to people, and there's no need for any of that garbage. And I won't put up with it. I'm a child of God, and my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I'm going to tell you, I won't tolerate people bullying other people. I won't tolerate people picking on other people. And if you're not here to spread love and joy and have a good time, if your good time is picking on people, laughing at people, tearing down their work, tearing down their feelings, you're not welcome here, unfortunately. Hatred is not welcome here. Uh, this is a place of love and safety and community, and and that's it. So that's why, Bambi, you and Solo. I made you mods here because I trust you. I've been watching you guys and talking with you guys for a couple of weeks now, at Jimmy's, and I've really got to know you guys. And you're some very special people. There's some others in Jimmy's group that if they want to come over, they're more than welcome. Like Vegas and any of the other guys or girls, if they want to come over. But any of the trolls, they're not welcome here. So yeah, don't worry about your name, Bambi. I think it's a cool name, to be honest. One thing, it's really easy to remember, and it reminds me of my childhood memories of the movie Bambi, the Disney movie Bambi. So that was a classic feel good movie. So when you think of the name Bambi, it already makes you feel good. So if anybody who would not like your name would be somebody who's so macho that they think, oh, the name Bambi, oh, why? But what is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So you know what, Bambi? You stick around with me. You're welcome here anytime. You can mod my groups. I appreciate your input. I enjoy hearing from you. This is my first real attempt at doing a really live stream where I've chatted with people, and you helped me to sort this out, you and Solo. So it really means a lot to me that you're here. It really does. So don't worry about the person who popped in and popped out and popped in and popped out and left because if they think they saw the name Bambi. Because if they left because of that, I don't really want them here anyways. And I'm not one difference between me uh, one difference between me and Jimmy and some other live streamers. I don't care if I get monetized. To be honest, I don't really plan to get monetized. I don't really want to be monetized. I want to build strong relationships where I can share with people who are truly interested in hanging out and having real conversations. And the people who are not here for that, I don't really care. And yes, I would like to get a YouTube play button on this channel and hopefully my on my puppet channel, and possibly one day my Church for God's Beloved puppet channel. So I have 3 channels, and so hopefully I could get a play button for one of them or all of them. But you know what? If I never do, I'm not going to lose any sleep about it. And if YouTube wants to monetize me, I don't really want to be monetized, and they're demonetizing people left, right, and center for nothing now, for no reason. So I don't really want to be. Actually, I'm just going to show my face here for a minute. There we go. So I don't really care about. Here, let me focus on see my blurry face. That's the problem with this camera. When I set it for fly tying, it doesn't focus on the other things. So yeah, so I don't really care about any of that stuff. So if people are watching my videos and they're trying to spread hate and things, that's not going to fly here. I'll delete you if you make bad comments. I'll delete you. And now I've got the ever famous Bambi and Solo as mods. And if I'm live streaming in there, you guys are watching, then they're going to do a good job and they're going to keep you at bay for me. So I don't have to worry about that. I have friends. Like the two friends showed up today when I needed two friends. I didn't get, it could have been trolls that showed up. It could have been weirdos that showed up. It was Bambi and Solo, my two friends. They showed up for my first live stream, and I'm super, super happy about that. And I had a fantastic afternoon with you guys, or I guess we're into the evening now. I had a great evening with you guys, tied some great flies, had a chat with some great friends. No regrets at all. So very thankful. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for my friends. Thank you for being able to live stream. Thank you for the abilities that we have, the gifts you've given us, and hopefully we can share them with more people and just bring some more joy into the world in whatever way that people find that joy. So that's it, Bambi. That's the fly tying. That's how it is. So amazing time. Oh. Here, I'll show you some more pretty flies. I got pretty flies. My wife calls these the pretty flies. My wife's not super keen on the buggy flies, but she loves the pretty flies. So that's one of the gift bag minnows. This is a fantastic combination. This pink with the silver. This is this is killer combination. Rapella makes a Rapella kind of like this, a bubblegum pink with a white belly, and I have fished it a bunch of times and gone out and had like 200, 300 fish days. And since I started making these flies, same thing. So this is anything pink. If you can get pink into stuff or red or orange, those are fish colors. Like whether it be on the gills or a little bit in the tail or a little bit on the top. Anytime you can get pink, orange, or red in there, you're doing good. What other ones do I got here? Oh, here's it. Here's one of my favorites. I love this one. The tiger colors, the orange tiger. This is a cool fly. I catch a lot of fish on this one. So I'm super happy. Again, I made it balanced so that it floats horizontally. Super cool. Super, super cool. And then when you're talking about big bass flies, so here's a bigger one. So you can upsize these. There's my wife. Beautiful. I need to tell her I love her. My sweet, beautiful wife. Love you. And I'll blow her a little kiss. Nice. I love my wife. She is my reason for living. She is my reason for living. She's just, I don't know. Without her, I don't know how I get through the days. You know, I got another good fly. This one here, the goldfish. I call it. I modeled it after a little goldfish. Because I did the orange with the orange light orange belly. Let's send her a little GIF. It gives me GIF options, but if I'm not online, it won't let me send them. Anyways, I will for sure, Bambi. I don't know how she puts up with me sometimes. I know I'm a handful, to be honest. I got bug stuff all over the place, and you know she's not a bug person, but she loves to go with me where I am and where I be. See, Bambi, that's all my display cases with all my. I know it's a little blurry. But those are some of my displays. Wall full of displays all over there. On my computer shelf. There's me looking at you, looking at me. Yeah. So, I know my wife's coming home now. She just said she's on her way home. So she's about 10. Her dad lives about 10, 15 minutes away. So I'm going to go put on a coffee for her. And thank you, everybody. Solo, shout outs to you, shout outs to you, Solo. Anybody who popped in or out, thank you for that. And Bambi, thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate that, Bambi. And thank you so much. Behave yourself in my chats, because Solo and Bambi are my mods, my first two for sure. And if you don't behave, they will kick you out. You will be put out, and they'll do it. So, thank you, everybody. God bless you. Everybody who watched. If you're watching this, if you rewatched this and you sat through it, I get it. It was a bit crazy. I'm a little all over the place, showing you some bugs on the wall and my fly tying gear, my messy place, and I'm a wear my heart on my sleeves kind of person, everybody. So I will show you as it is. Good, bad, ugly, messy, clean, whatever. I will show it as it is. But I do appreciate anybody who watches. If you haven't, hit that like button, subscribe button, and leave a comment. I do read my comments. I do answer them whenever I can, which is, for me, a lot. I've only got 38 subscribers as of this date. So this is March 26th, 2026. So yeah, so I got 38 subscribers. So if you all leave comments, don't worry, I can answer them all. Hopefully we can grow and share and build a community. And if you help me get a play button, YouTube play button, I would appreciate that. You don't have to leave me money chats. You don't have to support me that way. I don't have any of those features set up. I'm not going to be setting up any of those features. So just hit the subscribe button for me. If you have your own channels and you can hit that subscribe button, that would mean the world to me. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I really, really do. And if you haven't checked out Jimmy R Adventures channel, go check him out. Absolutely cool dude. He's a fantastic dude. Um, and he has a second channel now where he does fly tying. Go check that out because it's awesome. I'll try and leave in the description or in the comments of this video. I'll leave a link to that. And super cool dude. So if you want to learn more flying tying techniques, and some of mine can be advanced. Jimmy has a few more common ones and easy ones. He's a little bit newer of a tyer, but I'm going to tell you for how long he's been tying, he's a fantastic dude, and we can expect great things from Jimmy. So I'm a huge supporter. He has a merch shop. He has things you can check out, and I definitely say you want a good time. And if you don't see me here, you probably see me there at his lives, because when I'm not live streaming, he'll be live streaming. I'm going to try and do these on Sundays, guys. I'm going to try to regularly do them on Sundays. You may catch me during the week doing them, but Sundays are going to be the day that I plan to do it. So that's my day to give my gifts back to you guys and give my gifts back to God. So again, thank you to Bambi. Thank you to Solo and anybody else who popped by. And if you pop by, let me know in the comments. If I didn't catch you or if I didn't see you, I would definitely like to know it. Fish on, guys. Happy tying. Keep your fly on the water. Tight lines. And we'll catch you in the next one. Okay. Bye for now.